At that time, at the Olympic Games, that's a tough, that's where I think the real truth comes out, because I think there are a lot of people who are very talented who can make it there. There are very few people who can deal with the pressure and the stress that happens when we're there. So that's why I say we had to make sure that we were physically, emotionally, and mentally ready, because I had to be ready to be able to kind of manage my emotions through that week.
Most athletes fail not because they never had an opportunity to show their potential, but rather because when the opportunity comes, they weren't ready, either mentally or physically. And take this as an Olympian, from Michael Phelps to any challenge that you were going through at the level they were playing at, the moments. Some chances will only come once in a lifetime, and you must be ready to take them. This video will give you the habits for you to prepare daily, so when you get to those challenges and when you get to those opportunities, you are 100% sure that you did the best that you could to make that opportunity. But before we get to the 6 habits, I want to make sure that you understand something, that it is extremely important. This was probably my biggest mistake when I was in that. I was trying to just do things every single day without understanding the roots of why I was doing those things. And this matters a lot. If you're doing things out of just insecurity, fear, or anxiety, those habits, even if you're able to pursue them, they're not gonna give you the benefits. For example, if you're doing the mental work every single day, but out of fear, out of insecurity, you are also training your responses to insecurity and fear, instead of trying to address them in a different way, instead of trying to understand what your fears are about, what the anxiety is about, and what will be a better way to handle those when you need. So for example, if you're hiding all those things with working harder, they're gonna give you the best results that it can. And in fact, they're not even gonna become habits, they become responses to your fear. Habits take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to be formed. That changes on your environment, that changes on your genetics, that changes on your how hard the habit is. And one thing that really changed the game for me now as a mental performance coach is doing habits to make myself better, and not simply because someone told me to do them, or simply to be consistent with an activity. For example, reading. I wanted to read every day. I wanted to get the most out of the knowledge from the books that I was reading. However, I didn't have that in mind. I was doing that mostly because I felt like I was supposed to be reading. When I shift that to, I am reading to make myself better, I am reading because it improves my focus, I am reading because it makes me a better professional, to change the game. And even though my consistency might not be the same, like 30 minutes every single day, I am still reading a lot more because I have the benefits in mind. I am doing that out of pleasure, out of growth, and not out of people told me that I'm supposed to do that, so now I feel like I should be doing that every day, otherwise I'm failing. And that goes for this video as well. I'm gonna give you 6 habits that are gonna help you massively. You're not supposed to do all of them. You are not supposed to do all of them every single day. You are supposed to evaluate how do those can impact me the most at this moment of my career, of my life, and what out of those could help me the most. If you get out of this video applying one of these 6 habits, that's a win for you. You already became better. If you rewatch this video months later and you choose another habit to apply, you are another % better. That is the idea, that you pursue those habits out of, can these make me better today? Do I want to pursue this for the rest of my life? Okay, and not simply, I'm gonna destroy myself. I'm gonna work as hard as I can for the next 2 weeks to repeat those things every single day and then burn out and do not follow them for months. That is the idea. With that being said, another principle that you must have in mind is that every habit, you're gonna pursue them as long as this balance between pain and pleasure is favorable to pleasure, in account, taking in consideration the other habits that you have in your life. For example, if you want to implement the habit of sleeping better and you don't see the benefits of that, or just before sleep you are playing video game with your friends, which high pleasure, low pain, it doesn't take much effort to play video game with your friends. It is hard to stop that activity. So when you are taking in consideration the balance between pain and pleasure, between sleep and playing video game with your friends, going to sleep at that time is going to lose. Biologically, you are going to lose because the balance, it's not fair. And that is why it is hard to stop social media. That is why it's hard to stop gambling, to stop doing a bunch of activities that promotes a high level of pleasure. Biologically, we want more of that, so that creates a big difficulty to stop with those activities. With this in mind, what you can do: decrease the pain of those activities. So decrease the pain of going to sleep early. Block out notifications. Stop playing video game hours before. Start to relax yourself hours before. If you can make that activity easier, there's less barrier to force yourself to make that happen. You are more likely to pursue the activity. If the pleasure is higher, you're more likely to pursue that activity. So take a moment to notice, oh, okay, today I have more focus because I slept better. Today I have more energy because I am sleeping better. Today I was able to be more productive because I was sleeping better that week. The more you can take pride, you are increasing the pleasure of that activity. And the tough thing is, with most activities that are hard to happen, that require effort, the pleasure is smaller, and we have to do the work of recognizing the pleasure, recognizing the rewards. So that is your job, to perform the activity and realize the benefits of the activity. If you can do that, the likelihood of you increasing the scores of that habit, of this balance between pain and pleasure, it is going to be higher. You are more likely to stick with the habit with lower effort because the pain is smaller. So that becomes something that you look forward to rather than something that you are forcing yourself to do. Obviously, it's never going to be as rewarding as playing video game with friends, but if you're taking in consideration the other activities that you have in your life, and don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to have activities that are rewarding, that promote pleasure, but as long as you keep that in a frequency of, this is the amount of activities, I know my handwriting is not the best, this is the amount of activities that is high pleasure, low pain, and all the rest is activities that middle level of pain and middle level of pleasure. I am much more likely to maintain those because I am not having stimulus all the time to pursue those activities. So that is something that you must have in mind to maintain your habits. Now, let's move on to the 6 habits that you can use to improve your performance and become a better athlete. Number 1 is sleep. Not many people know this, but you actually improve when you're sleeping. So think of, when you're doing an activity, when you're training, when you're reading a book, when you're watching a video like this, it is as if you grab your brain and you are showing your brain, these are the changes that I wish to occur. I wish to create this connection, and this connection. Okay. You show your brain, a signal to your brain, what are the connections that you want to have. Now, when you go to sleep and your brain rests, that is when those connections actually occur. So during the activity, you are just signaling to your brain, those are the changes that I wish to happen. When you sleep, those changes actually occur. And not only the day of the activity, but up to 3 days later, those connections are still happening. The magic of having a consistent sleep schedule is things that you do every single day are being absorbed in the full capacity that they could be. When you're not sleeping well enough, when your sleep consistency, when your sleep quality is not the best, you are losing bits of information, bits of training that you did, because that information is not being consolidated into long-term memory. Obviously, you're not supposed to obsess about sleeping at the same minute every single day, because essentially that's not going to happen. But if you can aim for an average of going to sleep and waking up within a 30 to an hour range, your sleep efficiency, it's going to be a lot greater, and then you're able to use more of the things that you were trained. That is a key thing if you want to achieve high performance. It's making the most out of your reading, out of the videos that you watch, because that way you can get more of that information. Number 2 is knowing yourself. Think about Cristiano and Messi. They are great examples of success in football. If you are trying to follow the rules of Cristiano or follow the rules of Messi, it wouldn't work. Or imagine if Messi at 11 years old they started trying to follow the rules of Cristiano, trying to do everything that Cristiano does. It wouldn't work for him. Not because the things that Cristiano was doing are bad, but because they're not the best for Lionel Messi. You must understand yourself to make sure that you're doing things that suit you and not other people. So understand what are the things that create more anxiety. Is it thinking about the game the day before, or is it better for you to think about the game the day before? Does that give you more confidence? Does that give you more focus? Understanding what works better for you. What motivates you most? Is it proving other people wrong? Okay, how does that affect my anxiety? How does that affect my insecurity? All right, what is better for me? What makes me feel better? What gives me more consistency with my performances? The more you understand yourself, your beliefs, your way of thinking, your emotions, the more in control of yourself you become. The emotions that you have, they're impacting your behavior all the time. Just think about how do you behave when you're anxious? Probably you become more impulsive, you check social media more often, maybe you eat more often. So if those emotions are controlling you, what if you start controlling those emotions? So you are more in charge of yourself. And that begins with understanding yourself. In fact, this is the main part of the program of the one-on-one coaching that I do with my clients. And if you want to go further in this path and know more about how mental preparation can help you as an athlete, make sure to follow me on Instagram and also check out my program, which is going to be on sale during Black Friday. So if you're interested, make sure to follow me, subscribe to my email list, and you'll be notified when that begins. Moving on to the third habit, it is goal setting. Know where you are headed. Know what are the things that you want to achieve. The more that you can connect to a point in which my goal is to become the athlete who's able to perform under pressure, who's able to improve every single day, who's able to execute that kind of dribbling, to position himself in that way, that has those skills, the more that you can connect to this version of you who achieves that goal. So really picturing what is the version of you, what is it like, how is the body language, what are the skills, what are the decisions. If you have that clear picture, and also where this athlete, where this person is headed, playing the Champions League, playing for a top Premier League club, whatever that is, know where you're headed will allow you to build a plan to get there and connect to that person, connect to those goals. The more you can do that, the less reactive you become to the immediate consequences that are going through. So for example, if you don't start the next game, it is less of a threat because you are more focused about becoming the athlete that will achieve those goals in 5, 6, 10 years from now, rather than simply starting the game on the weekend, which yes, obviously you still care about it, but you care less because there's something that's more important for you to focus on. Having that in mind will massively improve your results. Number 4, social activities. They're gonna help you relax, recover, and connect to other people. And a lot of people feel like they're supposed to spend as much time as possible doing the work, reading, studying, training, recovering, sleeping, all that stuff, which is absolutely important for your development. However, social connections are as important as that because they're gonna help you relax. There's research being done that athletes recover faster when they spend post-match analysis with people they like rather than with strangers. That is because this bonding that you have with others allows your body to feel safer and relaxed. So yes, social connections are important. The other way is that they're impacting your behavior. So if you have social connections that have similar goals with people that are like-minded, they're likely to impact you in a way that's positive. So that is also important for you. Next one, mental recovery, including mindfulness, sauna, going for walks, going out with friends. All those things will allow you to keep your head free and restore mental fatigue. So if you feel like you're too stressed, you're getting to the point of burning out, of being stressed for too many days of the week, you might consider including those activities in your routine to help you relax faster. Breathwork is another option for that. Cold plunges is another option. So consider ways to help you recover mentally and physically. The last one, reading. And as I said, reading is important. It is not the most important thing in the world for you as an athlete. However, it can help you develop as a person, it can help you develop as an athlete, it can help you develop your psychological side. So I would strongly encourage you to start reading, maybe for 5-10 minutes a day. Start enjoying that, start increasing the pleasure side of reading if if you like it, if you want to go for it, if you want to pick a topic that's interesting for you, I would recommend, obviously, that you start reading things about the mental side, because that has a huge potential to help you on the pitch and off the pitch. So consider that. I have some recommendations of books in my Instagram, so if you don't follow me yet, click the link in the description of the video. It can help you massively to improve your mental game. Another thing that is extremely important for you to have in mind is seeing the big picture, how that is going to help you, just like all the other habits, how those can help you become a better athlete. As long as you can keep this image of long-term future, of long-term goals, it is going to help you to make better decisions, because those decisions will be aligned with the goals that you have for the future, and not simply enjoying as much as you can in the present moment, which obviously a combination of both is the optimal balance. If you want to know more about working on your mental game, about how you can become more confident as an athlete to achieve your highest level of performance, make sure to check out my program. It is currently going to be on Black Friday. As I said, there will be a special Black Friday offer. So if you're interested, check the links in the description of this video, and I'll see you inside the program.